This is Scott Sorheim with Lean Technologies, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what's within continuous improvement and Thrive. If we look on the menu, we can see some of the things that are in there. We've got goal boards, which is really like hour by hour related. We'll take a look at that in a second so you can better understand that. There's events. This is like CI event management. So if you're doing shop floor or business process events, keep track of team members, purpose, scope, and objectives, all your 30, 60, 90-day follow-up lists. Really make sure that you're closing the loop on what you've committed to as far as your goals for those. It keeps track too of your goals and actuals as far as your event targets. Time studies and cycle time analysis, these kind of go hand in hand. You could think of if you do time observations, whether it's like running out to the shop floor with a stopwatch and keeping track of that and trying to balance a cell, so a work center, really makes that significantly easier to visualize what's going on when you capture that data, and makes it really easy to capture as well. Project, there's each area in Thrive has a project management section to it, which is kind of what you see here. And there's another video that discusses that. But then audits too. So if you're doing things like 5S audits or any other kind of CI auditing, it makes it easy to capture that data and then understand it too, and to know if there's follow-up that needs to be a result of your auditing process. But let's take a look more closely at goal boards and how these work. So you think about this as a little bit like hour by hour. And I'm just going to do a flexible schedule here on the right side. I'm picking that. And I'm going to start just in run mode. And we'll just say I'm going to run at 2 units per minute, we'll say is going to be my rate. And I'll even have a setup time target of a minute. And if I start this goal board, I guess I actually started in run mode, which is fine. Had I started in setup though, you'd see that I'd have my setup time counts down. Now you can have a fixed schedule or a rigid schedule with this. So if you have predefined hours or your predefined shift schedule, you just pre-set that up in Thrive so your goal board runs at that pace, or that is aware of when breaks are. In this case, I've got a setup that's going right now, and it would turn yellow and then red if I was going to miss this target for my setup time. But now if I switch to run mode, I can complete units, and there's a number of ways you can do this. It could be with the keyboard with the space bar or the enter button. You could have foot pedals on the floor. It could be automated and tied to machines. But the goal here obviously is to know, how are we performing against our customer demands? So are we meeting what we need to in terms of expectations of getting product out the door? And so you'll track that here and have visibility of that. And this would turn red if we're behind. You can see this current cycle here below is indicating every 30 seconds I need to produce something. But really a big part of this too is abnormality management. So if I have issues, what can be done about that, or how do we communicate that? So you can imagine that this thing might be on a big screen out on the floor. If I start downtime, I can capture information related to it. So you set up your reason codes. I'll just say no material for now. But what I'm indicating right now visually is on the shop floor is, hey, I'm down. And I've already classified it as no material. And if I was watching my goal board of goal boards, so to speak, I could see on here that I have on the right side no material listed. So if I had like 10 assembly areas or 10 manufacturing areas, I could see what the different reasons were that people, if they are down or if they're ahead or behind. But visually now too, I can see I'm down. I've also now just slipped behind my total target for the day and for the current cycle. If I do complete another unit, you'll see I go back to green overall, and the smaller section here went green as well. The big goal, the big box represents your overall target for the day. The smaller one indicates how you're doing in the current cycle. There's a number of ways to look at this. This is just one example, but it gives you that visibility. I may also want assistance, and so if I hit my virtual and-on light, so to speak, I can get some help from maintenance, and I could send a message, and this could be a message via email or text that somebody gets notified. I could be out of material like I indicated on my reason code, could need maintenance assistance, and what that does, it's going to send somebody a notice saying, hey, somebody needs help over on line XYZ. And now I've got another communication mechanism here where I see visually across the screen, I've requested help, I'm currently down. When those are resolved, those things, we could turn off the and-on light. I could end the downtime. It's captured automatically for me, the time lost. And what that reason code is doing is driving reporting. And let's take a look at that real quick. So I'll go back to my dashboard here. One of the reports I have on here is my time lost from production. This is the waste or the abnormalities that I'm tracking on my goal board. And if I drill into this, I can see where are my biggest issues. And this press happens to be my biggest one. Then I've got reason codes, which you determine what those you want those to be. Machine-related issues, non-scheduled, and below I've got all the detail too. So not only do I understand, well, here is my biggest issue, but hopefully people, if they put comments, you can see how much time each issue caused and what the comments were, so that now you can work on focusing your efforts on those things and remedying those problems so that they don't come up anymore. That's a little bit about continuous improvement, the continuous improvement module. If you'd like to know more, get a hold of us or check out some of the other videos. Thanks.